What is up, lads? Welcome back to another trade recap. As you can tell by the title, today is a winning day. In the beginning of the day, it was pretty tough. I had some ideas that I didn't end up taking because I didn't like the way they were. We'll go over that in depth in the trade recap. But before we get into it, I just want to say thanks for all the support and all the new people coming in and showing love. All the people in the Discord server, just supporting and growing as a community. And I really appreciate that, and I really like that we're growing something. And hopefully in the future, we get bigger as a community and we learn more and we all get better together. So without further ado, let's get into the trade recap for the day. All right, lads, getting into the trade recap, what was I looking at for the day? Well, firstly, what I mainly wanted to see on the day was where are we in the range? This is the 15-minute time frame, and from yesterday, we have a big move higher, right? And we took out a bunch of lows. Like, if we go to the 4-hour time frame, we took out all of these lows. So we took out this Thursday, February 5th, or sorry, February 5th low. After that, we took out this low, the 20th of November, and then we just reversed off of it. So I was thinking, okay, this is the low, right? On the high time frame, I want to look at this as like a higher time frame AMD. We accumulate and then we manipulate lower, and now we can distribute higher, right? Especially with news. Trump says that he's going to be ending the war soon. So maybe we get out of this range and we continue higher. That's exactly what I was looking at. The PD array that I was looking at on the 4-hour was this 4-hour fair value gap. I'm not sure if it gets hit. Pretty sure it does. But that's what I'm looking at. And then going to the hourly, basically, I didn't use the 4-hour. I used this hourly because it was bigger. I wanted to see like us hold the top of it. And I had it like this. So that was what I was looking at for the day. For the draws, I had these Asia lows that have not been hit. And then we have London lows, like mixed, like these are like Asia relative equal lows. That's what we'll call it. So this is kind of like LR on the downside. Something like this is what I was looking at. And yeah, that was my draw. And then I wanted to see us respect this and then continue higher. I initially wanted us to sweep this low immediately, right, without trading higher, and come back down, respect consequent encroachment of the gap, and then flip, right? That would have been the best trade of the day. But then I would have been targeting these London highs, and then going down in time frames, there is a pre-market high as well. So I'm going to do London highs. Then we also had these relative equal highs, which would have been my final target. So going into the 15-minute time frame, let's see. Basically, going into the day, like I said, we have these lows intact, and we took out Asia high and this previous day high. So I want to see, are we going to respect bullish, but just go down and sweep? So kind of like AMD, accumulate and then manipulate lower, and then respect the gap and then continue higher. That's what I wanted to see. I wasn't initially interested in any bearish move. So going further into the day, at market open, I hated this, how we just tapped the 1-hour gap and then continued higher. I did not like that at all. I had this order block marked. I wanted to see it respect like 50% of this order block and then go lower, take out this liquidity, and then continue higher. So let's see what we did at the open. So first 15 minutes, I normally don't really go onto the lower time frames. I see that we print higher. We do absolutely nothing other than respect this bearish gap, right? We have this 15-minute bearish gap that we respected body-wise, The wicks, I didn't like it. I didn't like how high we went. But yeah, I'm going to fast forward one more 15 minutes because we really didn't do anything. But looking at it closely, if you put a fib on the low and the high of that wick, you treat it as a fair value gap, and we wick 50%. So at that point, if you go down to the 1 minute time frame while that's happening, the best play for shorts, if you wanted to catch a short, was this inversion. So we have the 15-minute gap that's holding, and then we wick 50% of the first 15-minute candle while respecting this bearish gap. And then you can take this inversion if you want to some shorts. I didn't take this. I didn't really like it or trust it. I just wanted to use it for fuel. I wanted to use this liquidity for fuel to go higher, right? But then I was just marking out. We had this break of structure, which we'll see later, right? We have a strong break of structure on the 2 minute. The 5 minute really didn't do anything. Right, as you can see with this candle, that's the break of structure that we had. On the 2 minute though, it was pretty clean with the break of structure. Then what I saw was we have this 5 minute fair value gap, bearish fair value gap. Now this may be weird, and if you guys do this, let me know. But we have this 5 minute fair value gap, and I also saw that we have this bigger 3 minute fair value gap. So I used the 5 minutes low mixed with the 3 minute. So I did something like this. That was my fair value gap. So I'll show you guys again. I used a 5 minute fair value gap low right here and mixed it with the 3 minute. And that was my gap that I was using. Now we have a break of structure, and we're wicking consequent encroachment of this 5 minute gap. And we respect it. I was looking for an inversion right here to target lower. But I didn't end up taking this because my break-even point was right here. And I've learned from experience, when my break-even point is here, I don't really want to enter the trade, right? I would have entered if it was like close, like right here. Stops would be here. My break-even would be there. And then I would target the 830 low. But because we closed here, the risk to reward was literally negative. I'm not going to take that trade. But it was a decent trade with these candles respecting consequent encroachment of that gap. So with a break of structure and I think a change in state. So that was decent. I didn't end up taking it. Going further in the day, I was like, okay, this is pretty shitty, whatever. We didn't end up sweeping these lows. So I was hesitant to get into any longs before we take these lows. I was waiting, patiently waiting. We were tapping this fair value gap here. I wanted to see, can we use that for fuel? I'm not going to enter off of this for like a small trade. I'm just going to wait, be patient. And we end up never hitting it. We make these relative, like not even relative, these are like equal lows. The exact measurement is one tick off of taking this low. This low was 24,892. This one was 24,892.25. So literally one tick away from taking the low. And that made me hesitant. Now, a lot of people said that there's a SMT on ES, right? So this is the 830 low. We take that low. Even at this point, we have these relative equal lows below. So I was still hesitant. Imagine if you're bullish with these relative equal lows right here. You want to see these taken out first before you get a move higher. And that's what I was thinking, right? Especially with, there's a SMT at 940 on ES with these lows, right? This 858 relative equal lows. We never hit this until ES hit this low. So I was initially wanting to respect this SMT, but this SMT is a little different. I don't like these relative equal lows at all, and 99% of the time I'm not going to trust that it holds. Some people do. I saw ICT himself take this inversion, right? We can see, personally, I'm not going to take anything that I don't trust. and I didn't trust these relative equal lows here. So I'm going to wait. So I'm going to get rid of all this mess up here. Now, the main trade that I was looking for earlier would have been a macro close above this bearish fair value gap, because we kept respecting it with a breakish structure. That was my target for the morning with that 940 SMT that I was talking about. But as you can see, macro happened and we didn't do anything. I would have wanted a 950 closure above with break even right here. That never happened. So I was waiting and I wasn't trusting anything here, although it did look pretty good. I wasn't going to trust it and I was just waiting. I was waiting till we get to here. Another thing is if you put your fib on the range, we could just retrace to 50%. This fair value gap lays over 50% of the range. So if you take this inversion, you have to be break even pretty quick at this fair value gap, which you do get hit out break even if you enter at the close. So if you enter at the close right here, you're break even right away. You could wait for this wick, which is good. It's just normally when a quadrant level lays over top of a fair value gap, I want to see if we can like just wick it, the bottom of it, not go into consequent encroachment. That would be very strong. So if you turn on OTE of the range, it would be right above here mixed with this order block. So everything here I don't trust. I want to see I want to see like a truth. I want to see, are we really going to disrespect all of that? Then I'll take something. So we end up disrespecting OTE. We hit like the middle of this order block and then we reject quickly, but we tap into this bullish fair value gap and we use that as pressure to go higher. Right here, I enter my trade on this candle at the close of this candle with this small like breaker structure. The reason I trusted it with a weaker breaker structure was because we were already respecting bullish, right? And we already disrespected OTE of the range, all of the bearish confluences, and we're going in the higher time frame direction, right? We tapped this hourly gap down here. So I trusted this trade with a long right here. Stops were at the middle of this order block. I wanted to see sensitivity around the top of the order block, and I just want to see a wick. And yeah, those are my stops, and my final target would be London high with my break even at this swing high here. So going further, we're just kind of staying still. I get break even right here. Now I was playing with micros, so I took off 5 positions at my break even point, mainly because I want to get some profit and I want to leave some runners. So I went 10 micros, which is 1 mini, take some off at break even, and then go break even. So right now I'm 5 contracts in. We have this high here that I had marked. This was 7 o'clock. And I named it minor buy side liquidity. And then at the point that we hit this, I top ticked my partial. I took off, I'm pretty sure it was 2 positions. So right now I'm 3 positions in with my stop loss at the bottom. I'm not sure if it was the bottom of this order block or the bottom of the wick. I'm pretty sure it might have been the bottom of the order block. So my stop loss is right at this line, I think. And then we kind of just edge me, don't stop me out. And then right here where we made the swing high, I took 1 partial. So right now I'm 2 contracts in. Or I might have taken 2 off. I think I might have taken 2 off at that point and then left 1 runner to London highs. And then ended up taking out my runner here. I'm an idiot, so I put a sell limit here with 10 contracts because I enter the trade with 10 contracts. So I ended up entering short with 9 contracts and I closed it immediately. Good thing we hit this wick down. I ended up getting like $70 from that. Something that I do need to learn. I should have just put my take profit there or change the limit order to 1. But yeah, I am very, very happy with a lot of things today. I took, I trusted the breakage structure. I trusted that we were respecting all of this. Um, it's not really a chase in price action. It's a truth. We're disrespecting all of this bearishness, respecting bullish, and then at the breaker structure, that's when I enter. And that's like something new to me. That's something that I like, and that's something that I'm gonna implement into my strategy. It's um, someone like they didn't really teach me, but I've been watching them trade, and they do a similar type of style where they wait for a confirmation. Even though our styles are different in trading and what our entries are, I'm using that type of ideology of waiting for a breakage structure and a change in state and then enter off of something rather than entering off of something that I'm not too sure on. So down here, if we did sweep these lows, I would have entered down here because we 100% swept these lows. But because I wasn't sure, I'm going to add confirmation to my type of strategy. So I basically have like an addition into my strategy on if I'm not sure on a trade, I'll wait for confirmation. If I'm 100% sure, then I'll go for an early entry. And I'm going to document over time on what my process is on those. My winning versus my losing, like what happens when I lose on an early confirmation, or if I lose on a late confirmation like I did today. If I lost, I would have wrote down why. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with the way I, took off positions, stuff like that. Like I was very content. So I'm going to show you guys my MNQ chart. This is when, this is, you can see I'm on my trade evade in my bottom left. Enter the trade right here with 10 contracts. Exit on my first break even point, which is this 932 high. Take off 5 contracts. Then at this minor buy side, take off 2 contracts. Take off 2 contracts at the swing high, and then leave 1 runner here. So as you can see, I sold by accident 1, but I bought back all of them. I just canceled the trade immediately. So yeah, I'm very happy. Although it was it was about half of the trade from down here, about 100 points, which I'm very, very happy with. I'm very happy with my confidence. I was literally chilling the whole time. I was in the trade for like 30 minutes and I was completely calm. It felt very nice. This is the first time that I trade micros as well, and I'm probably going to continue doing it. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the day. Actually, I want to show you guys one more thing. Regular trading hours is very important. If you guys don't know, if you go to regular trading hours at the open, you should, and then basically it tells you how the day is going to go, right? So today, what I was looking at was we have this small gap. So there is a very low chance that if you like FOMO here and you buy, targeting this minor buy side, you're going to get stopped out because we don't fill this gap. Normally, if we have a small gap, like 30 points, 50 points, whatever, we are most likely going to fill that gap before doing anything. If we have a bigger gap, then it's most likely going to continue in that way. So if we have a gap over 75 points to like 100 points, let's say we had a bigger gap like that today, then I would have been looking for higher prices immediately, right? Maybe fill consequent encroachment, but on a small gap, we're going to fill immediately. So that was an even more confluence that you can add onto like a short you could have formed here. But yeah, everything was pretty clean today, and I hope you guys stayed safe. And if you did get edged here, that's unfortunate. There's nothing you can really do about that. That's kind of just shitty, but yeah, I hope you guys learned something. I'm going to be journaling everything about what I did wrong, what I did right, what I observed properly. And yeah, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.